Monica. Just got back from my Kenya trip and I really want to talk to you guys about it, especially how to apply for the program, the Global Health Program, how much to save for the program, and things to pack for your trip to have a successful trip. Okay, so I'm so excited to share this trip with you guys. As many of you know, I go to Chamberlain University in Irving, Texas. I have 8 months of school left. Super excited to get this journey on the road and speed it up. If you find any of this information useful that we're sharing with you guys, just make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss with you guys is how to apply for the trip. So do your research, definitely meet with your advisors at school. They'll definitely have the most information about any global health trip programs, and even if your school does them. A lot of state universities and private universities do have them. I have noticed that a lot of online programs kind of lack those programs though, as far as global health trips. So just make sure you do your research before you get too excited after hearing about my trip. Another thing that you should look for applying is scholarships. Luckily, I got the opportunity to win a $1,500 scholarship from writing essays, and so I think that was super helpful for my trip because the cost for mine was $3,400 to go to Africa. Sounds scary, but it's a whole 2 weeks. You have a translator, you have food every day. Besides one day we go to a really nice dinner. You have means of transportation and also a place to stay on both the safari trip as well as the whole trip itself in the hostel. The minimum GPA to apply is actually going to be I think it's 3.0. I don't know if any other schools they're different with that, but the minimum GPA is a 3.0 that you do need. So keep those grades up, and if you're watching this and you're a new student, like you just started school right now and you're getting super excited about this trip, make sure you keep those grades up, do whatever you need to do, see a tutor, because your grades are important. They do reflect if you are a good candidate for this trip. So also, as far as doing a little bit more research on the application process, you definitely want to ask yourself, is this something that I want to do? Do I want to take 2 weeks out of my life and either pay for it? Like I said, some schools don't pay for it, but for me, I had to pay for it. Take 2 weeks out of my life, not getting paid, helping those truly that are in need and seeing a whole nother part of this world. And if you're willing to sacrifice your time and your money and do that for a great experience, then this is for you and this is your calling, which it was for me. Also, you need to research on your school's different locations that they do throughout the year. For example, my school did Africa, Haiti, they did Brazil, and they did India, and I believe there's one more location that they're adding on this year. So my last option was actually Africa, and I think that's pretty funny because I had India as my first selection, Brazil as my second, and Africa as my third. And when I got to the trip and did the trip, the professor said that Africa was by far the best experience that a student could have. So I was really, really happy that I selected. Alright, you guys, my fanny pack, super cute, from Amazon. They should pay. All jokes aside. Anyways, fanny pack is going to be your best friend throughout the trip, throughout the clinics, throughout the safari, throughout the whole entire trip in the airport and everything. You keep your money, your valuables in there. Super safe, super secure, and you don't have to worry about having a whole nother backpack on top of you, even if it is full. Another important thing to bring to Africa and pack is they do not like plastic bags. So if you have any of the Sprouts bags, reusable bags, they don't do plastic out there. So definitely take one of those. We put all of our medical supplies in there. Important thing to do also is go to the doctor and see, or even look on the CDC website and see what kind of medications that you need to be on as a preventative when you're going to visit Africa, because we had to be on a preventative malarial pill, so I chose the least expensive, obviously, which was doxycycline, and was not your best friend. So those are just some things to think about. Listen to your teacher's advice on what to pack. They sent us this huge list of supplies to bring for ourselves, not just for the public. And I was that one person that packed the bare minimum, and so I ended up borrowing a lot from my friends and my peers, and luckily they were really nice and cool to let me do that. But I ended up running out of shirts, pants, scrubs, you name it. So I had to wash all my clothes, pay $10, which I wasn't looking forward to because I only brought $100 to spending money. Things not to pack, let's just address those. Don't bring heels, don't bring all your nice makeup, don't bring expensive jewelry. I'm not saying people out there are out to get you, but they don't have a lot, and that's not in every area either, just in the parts that we were. And so if they see a nice flashy diamond ring, they're gonna snatch it from you, okay? So you need to be really safe about things like that. Don't bring your super nice scrubs, don't bring your super nice shirts, bring your hand-me-down shirts, pajama t-shirts, things like that to wear for clinic days, and of course scrub bottoms and some old tennis shoes are nice. And the most important thing is obviously cha-ching, the money, because this trip was not cheap. Now, like I said before, some schools, they do cover the cost for the trip, and some don't. And so unfortunately mine didn't, but it wasn't that bad of an experience because after raising enough money through GoFundMe and as well as raising enough money through my scholarship, which was $1,500, like I said before, I basically, not really that good at math, I basically had to pay like about $1,400 out of pocket. Luckily, that tax return, which was $2,000, allowed me to pay for this trip for my first deposit. So it's really important to take that into consideration. How much money do you need for this trip? Can you afford this? You know, scholarship isn't guaranteed. I applied for 5 and only got 1, and I got it literally a month before the trip, so I was really grateful for that. GoFundMe, I was able to raise about $500. I shared it on Facebook, on Instagram, on every social media account I have. I told my friends and my family members, hey, share this for me, post it. And luckily I was able to have $500. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're paying for a trip that's $3,400, it does make a huge dent in that debt that you have to pay. So also financial aid can cover that. You're just gonna have to pull money out of your loans, and I would not recommend that because then that means interest. So also take that into consideration. You might want to go on this trip really bad, but if you can't afford it, if you can't afford it, then really consider, is this a possible thing that I can do? Like I said, luckily I got that scholarship. If it wasn't for that, your girl would be in debt right now with some form of a loan on top of all the nursing school debt that I do have. Now let's talk about spending money. I ended up buying a little bit of quote-unquote junk that you should not always have to buy in your trips, but everybody loves to when you go to a country that you're not familiar with. I am a very frugal girl, okay? I don't like to spend that much money on unnecessary items, but again, I was in Africa, but still I only brought with me $100, and I felt like I was crazy because everybody around me was with like $300, $400, $500, and they were just making it rain on everybody. You know, like me, I only had $100, and I am a Puerto Rican bargainer. Like, I will drop any price down, and that's what they would do over there. So I ended up bargaining for a lot of things, and I made my $100 stretch, and with that laundry price that I had to pay for. So $100 to me was enough. I saw a lot of people that were able to bring much more crafts home, but like I said, I'm not like that. I didn't need unnecessary things in my house. I got to buy a lot of things with the $100, a lot of jewelry, a lot of some home paintings, you know, some little sculptures, and what are these things called again? Coasters. I got to get some coasters. And so I brought back things that I thought that I was gonna use in my home and things for myself. So if you're a big spender, then bring that money. If not, you don't need more than $200, honestly. Okay guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time for watching this video. We are gonna be making another video of my actual experience, the clinic days, the hard work, the tears, the blood that we shed, everything. So we will be making another video. The link will be down below, so make sure to check that video out. Please comment and share us, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at acouplenurses@gmail.com.